am Aniki Nippon, and I do not support leaking classified information, especially from the United States. I recently came across a video about Wikileaks, and this is my response to all the claims that are in it.
Whatever happened to freedom of press, freedom of speech?
Hundreds of documents are censored every day by the American and other international governments.
This is exactly why we have the First Amendment.
Whether you like WikiLeaks or not, if the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution means anything, it must cover WikiLeaks as being protected, as being a part of the press.
I support transparency.
It is not the responsibility or the role of government to suppress or control the distribution of information.
As far as I don't know a single journalist in the United States that has been arrested for reposting information or an article based on the WikiLeaks information.
Where was their outrage when we went into Iraq and waged an illegal war?
This has nothing really to do with WikiLeaks, but it has to do with the book A Long Short War by Christopher Hitchens, and to say that it's an illegal war actually is inaccurate because we are a signatory to the Geneva Conventions, so it is actually our responsibility to prevent genocide. If you think you can conduct a war without killing anybody, you're irresponsible, and you're not doing it right.
Even a shred of evidence that anyone has been put in harm's way. There is no evidence of such a circumstance.
So you're saying that if there was an informant that was giving information to the CIA on how to hunt down bin Laden and where he's at and what he's saying, you're saying that that person doesn't deserve to live. Because I guarantee you, if there's any information of that person's name released to the general public, you know what's going to happen. Him and his family will probably be murdered by these terrorists. You're saying that that can't happen and it hasn't happened in the past? You honestly will stand by that statement? Are you saying that in World War II, if the Germans found out about our landing on Omaha Beach, have it been found out would be a good thing and would have saved American lives? I actually can think of one instance where lives were lost because of a leak of classified information. Bay of Pigs. Look it up on Wikipedia. That's also not to say that all classified information directly leads to a death. Eldrick Ames was passing on nuclear secrets to the Russians, and he didn't necessarily directly kill anybody himself. Do you think that that information should be legal and available to the public? I dare say you would.
Leaks is a direct and natural consequence of what happens when democratically elected governments forget that they are employees of the people that elected them.
Sure, there might be things the government doesn't want to let out because it might harm the people or harm some soldiers. But they shouldn't use that as an excuse to hide their wrongdoings and evils, you bastards.
If you don't support WikiLeaks, then at least support the idea that maybe some of these documents should have been revealed to the public.
Can you name any single politician that has actually done some wrongdoing, as you put it, from the U.S. classified leaked documents? Just to let everybody know, as far as the U.S. laws are concerned, or reasons for classifying information, it's actually illegal to classify information just on the point that it might potentially embarrass somebody. A lot of the information might potentially embarrass somebody, but if that's the sole reason for classifying information, it does not get classified. And if there is an abuse, it is reported to the Inspector General, it is reported through the chain of command in the case of the military, and if it's a different branch like the CIA or NSA or whatever branch it may be, reports of abuses can happen, and they do happen, and the complaints do go through a similar chain of events. If you do actually read the news, there are some times when confidential informants pop up in the news media, and they do leak sometimes some classified information and so on. Therefore, I don't believe that WikiLeaks is actually a necessary form to keep the public informed. Even at that time, I don't believe anybody leaking any kind of classified information does society a good. We could always look back in history and say, look what we did wrong, and look what we did right, but we won't know until it actually happens. And that's how history comes about. And our taxpayers do pay some very smart people that do make very difficult decisions every single day. That's what makes me proud to be an American. Give me a thumbs up and please subscribe.